You've been warned. The time of hearing the word is short. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha HaKodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. Playing this video, we're going to get straight into it from the brother Arrows of Indignation. And Lord willing, you're edified.
Department of Homeland Security says Joseph Giancola made threatening comments about ICE agents online. This morning, they raided his home, executing a search warrant. I have a copy of the warrant, and it's for searching electronics.
The last time I heard my sister's crying heart was when her mother died. He's just a grandpa. Call him Papu.
The Giancola family says they will not be getting sleep tonight. At 6 this morning, Homeland Security showed up to their house on Chiquita Boulevard South in Cape Coral. Watch as they use a battering ram to break through the front door.
The whole family lives here, that there's babies here.
Saw lasers, like a car with a bunch of men standing out on the opposite side with lasers at my head.
I have children in the house. What is going on?
DHS told us that a man in his 70s named Joseph Giancola Jr. made threatening comments about ICE agents online.
A private conversation with another individual on the internet.
He's one of the most patriotic people I know.
Watch as agents search the home from top to bottom, executing the search warrant, seizing electronics. They took away Linda Giancola's dad in handcuffs, detaining him for questioning at the DHS Center on Daniels Parkway in Fort Myers.
This is a man who's never been arrested his entire life. I just want him home.
You can just see this gaping hole in this door from this house on Chiquita Boulevard, and up here you can even see their shrubs, and their garden is absolutely destroyed. And I spoke with the owner who told me that they were absolutely terrified, and that her wife, her father, and their 4 kids were woken up at 6 this morning to Homeland Security banging and breaking down their door, leaving the hole, and they weren't even given the warrant until after the hole was put in their door. And you can see in this video men in military-grade protection, armed with long guns, entering their home. Eventually, one of them puts a piece of tape over the camera. The owners, Amy and Amanda Giancola, told me one of their cameras was ripped out and the others were turned to face the wall. Their 4 underage children were all taken out of the house as well. And that Homeland Security barricaded search through every room of the house. Homeland Security had a warrant to detain Amy's father, Joseph Giancola Jr., who lives with them, but it's unclear for what. Amy says that she thinks there was a better way to go about her father's warrant. There's my broken door. This is the country we live in nowadays. So we don't knock on the door and say, "Hey, I got a warrant for your arrest. Let me just shoot at your door and put a tank in your front yard and go in and break in and scare the living daylights out of your family." That's okay. That's how we do.
So as you can see, we're in those times. The hypocrisy of this place is at an all-time high. Okay, the promise of free speech. If you don't know, we've been going into it. It's cooked. It's absolutely done. It's through. All right, we're beyond the point where they're speaking as a lamb, as the scripture would say. I'm going to go to Revelation 13 real quick. Okay, because there's a new shift in energy, a new shift in direction that things are going. Because I believe they're seeing things in the heavens. They're ruse. People have caught on to it. Okay. And now they have to hustle now, okay? But this is Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth and had 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon, okay? So that is what you have here, a left-right, okay, paradigm, a red-blue paradigm, okay, where it's liberals versus conservatives, okay? Those are your 2 choices. Those are your 2 philosophies that they've presented you, and that provide you this illusion of choice, because that's what it is. It's an illusion of choice. But what's behind the illusion? Okay, it's a dragon telling you what to do, and it's demonic because it's sinister. Okay, they never were for free speech. Okay. All right. The people that rule over America, all right, that was just a selling point to get you in there. Okay. As I bring this out a lot in Daniel 7, okay, that his look was more stout than his fellows. Okay. So Daniel 7 and 20, Salakia, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things. Those great things we're going to give you these things, but now they're kicking in the doors of white people now, so-called white people, okay, over something they said online. Okay, so how much longer do we have here? All right, it says, whose look was more stout than his fellows, okay? And so those other horns were the French, the Spanish, okay, the English, and that little horn came up out of the English, which was America, okay? And that superseded all of the other nations that were here, all right? And so now the true colors are being shown. Now, what we've been telling you the whole time is getting ready to happen, okay? Because if they're getting their doors kicked in over saying something against ICE, we're not going to be able to preach the word here, man. This is Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places. And that's what you have, a lot of confusion, a lot of rioting, all right? A lot of restlessness, okay? There's a spirit of insurrection in America because things are becoming unbearable, okay? Choosing between rent and groceries, something's got to give, okay? Working 40, 50 years and then still can't retire, something's got to give. All right? Giving other nations billions of dollars in front of your own eyes, but you can't fund your own government. All right? That spirit's going to be here, man, and it's going to get dangerous, okay? It says, and the fire shall oft be sent out again. You see, so fire is going to be going on. The wild beasts shall change their places. When beasts change their places, okay, meaning the deer is starting to creep out in the roads, and kind of like we saw back in 2020 when they locked everything down. Okay, you started seeing deer creeping out. Okay, you start seeing alligators in certain areas where they live, rolling up in people's yards more often. Okay, bears started becoming into houses more curious. Okay, that's because that's a representation of the city, the grinding of the cities going down. Okay, I did a lesson on that yesterday, and when that happens, and people are not going to know what's going on, man. Okay, they don't know up from down. Okay, it says, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and friends that destroy, and all friends shall destroy one another. All right. And this is elaborated in the 15th chapter of Second Ezra, okay, and verse 6 and chapter 16. It says, the main point then, wit shall hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. What is wit? Okay, wit is intelligence, wisdom. Okay, understanding would draw itself into a secret chamber. So we're not, if this guy's getting arrested for just going online, okay, and criticizing ICE, okay, and he's doesn't even look like a Northern Kingdom to my understanding, then what do you think is about to happen to the rest of y'all, man? Okay, what do you think is about to happen to the truth? Okay, in terms of it being freely available. Okay, it's going away. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 26. It says, mischief shall come upon mischief. Okay, so you had that confusion we talked about earlier. Okay, things confounded, things not where they're supposed to be, beasts changing their places. Okay, fresh water is where salt water is, salt water is where fresh water is. Okay, that represents the Lord flipping the tables on this place. Okay, and then you got mischief in all of that. Okay, it says, and rumor shall be upon rumor, because World War III is going to be afoot. Okay, you got cyber attacks, people on alert for that, bombs, things of that nature. Okay, it says, then shall they seek a vision of the prophet. All right, And then, so this is what we're telling you. Okay, you can receive it or not receive it, but we've been telling you this for a long time, man. Get it together. All right. But the law shall perish from the priest and counsel from the ancients. Okay. And so, as the scriptures say in Sirach, 5 and 7, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. All right. You cannot get in the spirit of thinking you got time, man. Okay. If you hear this truth, brothers going in on lessons, breaking things down at camps. All right. Brothers are diligent, man. Even going into, answering questions on the comment boards. Okay. And you decided to just sit on your hands. You're not sure. Okay. There's not a fire in you to act. All right. You need to pray fast, because it's coming no matter what. It says, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. There are guys that have seen chariots, that know the truth, even guys that know the name, and they're still settled. Okay? Cam's talking about we could be here another 30 years, 100 years, They have no idea what time it is, or they just have this lax spirit on them. And the Lord is not dealing with that, man. Okay? Last precept I'll end it. Amos 8. And 11, I believe. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. We've been telling you, okay? And we were seeing this over there in the UK, but now it's obviously here, because Donald Trump has proven to be the complete hypocrite, man, and betrayer of his own people, man. MAGA is through, divided. Okay? Rejected. Okay, as that meme says. So I'm going to end it there, Lord willing. This is edifying. On to the next. Shalom.